Kia ora bladers, I've got a brand new product to show off here from a new company called LFTOVRS. Now this is an aluminum suspension frame. Now a lot of companies have tried to do suspension frames. The only one I've experienced with is the Create Original CRS. This frame almost sunk Create Originals. They disappeared for a while because of how badly this frame came into existence through Kickstarter. And the suspension in this one worked really well, but the thing that made these unskatable was the fact that every single bolt was a little bit too long. So that was super clacky. Some of the clackiest frames I've ever skated that completely ruined them.
They all move, even though they're as tight as they can get.
Now these ones I think are done a bit better, and we'll show that off today. We'll show these frames off and how they work, set them up and weigh them and give you everything you want to know about them. But what makes me super excited about these is I think it's kind of the best case scenario for a suspension frame. It's one that makes the most amount of sense because to me, on a plastic frame, like the Create Original ones here, they don't really need that suspension. Like plastic kind of has enough give in it already. But the time I felt like I've needed suspension the most is whenever I skate metal frames, like the Sola frames here. Now I absolutely love these frames. Every time I skate these make me feel like I can actually skate quarter pipes and bowls and make it so fun. Everything slides so much better, super responsive. One of the most fun things to skate I've ever skated. But no matter what, by the end of the session, I've noticed my feet are a bit tender afterwards, and it's definitely just because it's metal. And that's why I'm super excited about these leftover frames here, because they are a metal frame, just like the Sola frames, but they have the suspension in them, which should hopefully give you the best of both worlds. So moving on, let's try to explain how this works. It's gonna be quite hard to show off, I think, in a video, but I'll try. If you're looking closely, you might have spotted some really cool packaging here. And that's something I really appreciate about this. Like this was so unnecessary, but this is how this is what causes the suspension in the frames. This is the bushings. And LFTOVRS has gone the extra mile to do some cool packaging here with a throwback to the Crayola anti-rockers kinda. I guess it's just Crayola knockoff at this point. And honestly, it makes more sense for this because these are pretty much little crayons. Now you see there's 4 different colors here, and each color is a different hardness, which is really nice. I'm gonna go with the red one just so I can feel the most extreme version of these frames. But just first impressions holding them here, they all feel, none of them feel too soft. Like they've definitely got enough rigidness to them that I won't be worried that they'll be bottoming out. It seems like this has been well thought out. And as you can see, it's like a nice little crayon. And the way it works, you might be looking at this thinking you're gonna like do suspension this way, but it is this way. It squishes it this way and it fits in the frame this way. Now, let's try explain how that works. So as you look at the side of this, there are a lot of axles, a lot of bolts you can screw in it. And despite that, they're not super heavy. They weigh roughly 100 grams more than both of these, so they're definitely not a light frame, and that's because they are obviously more complicated. So like all rollerblading products, this comes with no instructions, which does make me worried every time I set something up that I'm doing it wrong. But yeah, as you can see, this kind of sits here and it gets squished into it as you push down like that. That's how the suspension works, squished against the metal bit here. So you pop these in. It's a pretty nice secure fit. And I've seen some really cool action shots of these and they look like they work exceptionally well. The cool thing about these arms coming off like this too is it's an easy way to take the wheels out, which I like. Easy way to set them up too. So it has extra benefits. Fucking go. God damn, that was hard. All right, now I'll do it to all of them. We'll see how it comes out. Let's have a look. Now there you have it. As you can see, we get all the red bushings that are in now. And despite being the softest one, I can't push them like with my hands at all, which I hope isn't because I set them up wrong. We'll find out. If you've seen this video, it's set up right. But yeah, I think that's a good thing though, because if you could bottom this out with your hands, that means you're just gonna bottom them out when you're skating, because there's obviously gonna be a lot more pressure on it than I can push with my fingers here. So that's a good sign to me. And the other good sign is that there is no clack to it when it's like this, except for that because it's loose. Which, yeah, they don't move at all now. They're locked in place, very nice. They are pretty high up, which is interesting. And yeah, there is a lot going on here that doesn't have to go on a normal frame, which should give it a high ride height. We'll have a look here and tell you how high it is. They are 4.5 centimeters versus the Solas, which are 4 centimeters. So we've got a whole extra half centimeter, and here's the Creates, which are like 5 centimeters, so they're smaller than the Creates. But anyway, we'll chuck some wheels in to show you what it looks like, because they do come with wheels. At least there is an option that can. And they're the rocket profile wheels, which are my favorite, which I'm super hyped about, because no one really sells rocket profile anymore. It's when you get a bullet profile and you chop the top off, which means you get the best of both worlds. You get the you got the wheel bite protection wheel bite dodging curve on the side, but you've still got the flatness on the top to get a bit more stable when you're rolling around. They're really fun to skate, super fast. But anyway, let's set them up. This makes me really appreciate metal frames because they're so much easier to set up. Only needing one bolt and it's screwing into the frame. This is kind of screwing into the arms of the frame, but it's the same thing. But it's just so much easier. Like I can't even describe how much easier it is to put wheels on metal frames. Like it makes it hard to go back. It's a shame that metal frames hurt my feet. Hopefully this fixes that. It's also a shame that metal frames are really bad for topside grinds. That one you kind of can't fix, but the wheels are both printed on both sides too, which I also appreciate. That's not many wheels are like that. They're probably like the only ones I've ever seen like that. So then we have the complete setup there. It looks absolutely great. I like the grayed outness of it. And you can see the H-block has good wheel bite protection here. It's quite low. I do wonder if you'd be scraping on that, but it doesn't look super insane. It is definitely, it's interesting. It looks quite deep. I'm definitely excited to try that out. But if you didn't like it, they are actually replaceable. That's what this one bolt we haven't touched yet is. And they do have a prototype metal H-block, which I can show you right now, and it is slightly different. And it's so cool that it's that easy to change, man. But here we have some samples they sent me. Shout out to Leftovers. Shout out to them in general for sending me these with no strings attached just for me to try. I really appreciate it. New Zealand is far away from everyone, so it costs a lot for people to let me try things, so I do really appreciate it. Shout out to them. But yeah, let's just pop these in and look how sick that looks. This looks like it will slide so fast, and it is slightly different. You can see it's a little more shallow, the groove, the plastic one. And yeah, it's got different angles on it. I absolutely love a changeable H-block. It reminds me of the Solas, and I think of how far the Solas came from the original H-block. Like this one is so much better than the original one. So yeah, I think it opens the horizons in the future for this frame. And yeah, now that I have a wheel in, I can actually squish it so you can see how it moves. Probably the middle one might be easier. You can see I can squish that. And overall, I'm super impressed with the quality, the build quality, and how well everything kind of comes together. And again, it's rock solid. There's no clackiness to this, which absolutely ruined the Create Original. My only other experience with suspension frames, which are these, no clack. The other cool thing too, you might be thinking, oh man, you just set that all up. How are you going to get them on your skates? Well, you can very easily I can take the arm out like that. The whole arm comes out and it's just got the wheel and it's good to go. And now I can get to the bolt. I'm going to try these on my Faction plastics. And if this fixes my issue with the Solas where my feet just start to hurt after a while, then that'll be a dream come true, and I think it'll be hard to get me off them. Massive thank you to Leftovers for sending me these to try out with no strings attached. Absolutely blessed, and I can't wait to try them, and the ball is going to be so fun. Massive thank you to my patrons too for helping me make these videos. I can't do this stuff without, on the scale of rollerblading, you really need fan funding for this to be, to find time to be able to do this. So a massive thank you to them. Consider joining if you want to support me. And yeah, subscribe so you can catch the video of my first impression skating that should be coming up soon. So thanks so much. I'll see you later.